Hey everyone, welcome to Rich and Wellness Workshops. My name is Roddia Paul.
And my name is Shola Cargill. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, of course, we welcome you to this space, and we are so glad that you could make it here and help us, help you as you continue on this journey of wellness, right? Rich in wellness. So we've talked a lot about different aspects of self-care, about purpose, about who we are, about being intentional, about reflecting, and all those wonderful things. Now we're going to kind of shift gears and talk about physical wellness. All right. And why is physical wellness even important for us to talk about in this segment? Right. Physical wellness is a part of our overall wellness. For me, I live by the philosophy of mind, body, spirit, or soul. Right. And so for me, that means that the body is the vehicle, right, for who you are. The mind is the operator, and like your spirit and your soul is the compass, that provides you direction. So the body has a very, very important part in this system of who we are, the self. And so making sure that the body is well taken care of and that the specific needs of our body is also being highlighted. That's important because even though it's a separate part of our system, it's still related to the other aspects of who you are. So, Roddia, can you go a little bit further and just define what physical wellness is for us?
Sure. Everything you said, I feel like super important and really starts to touch on what physical wellness is, right? So I like to break physical wellness down into like a what, how, why. I just feel like it really helps remind me why I need to get up and go and do, right? When I'm able to break it down that way. So first, of course, the what. So we all want to know like, what is it, right? So intentionally understanding that physical wellness is like a choice. We choose because we're choosing, right? We choose to have a quality of life in which we're able to do our daily activities to the best of our ability, right? Because that looks different for everyone. But it means you're able to have a quality of life where you're able to physically engage with your daily activities to the best of your ability, right? So how does that look, right? That may mean that, you have low fatigue, you have low physical distress, and of course physical distress depending on your body, your age, if you have certain challenges may look differently, but to a level that is well for you, you're able to have that on a daily basis. And why is that important, right? Why do we want to be able to maintain a quality of life where we can engage in our daily activities like and have low fatigue, have low physical distress? Why do we want to do that? One, because it allows us to reflect, which we've been talking about like for I don't know how long, self-reflection, right? But it allows us to reflect on the fact that every single daily activity and habit that we have impacts our overall quality of life. So Shilla just talked about how mind, body, spirit, soul is all interconnected. And the daily activities we choose to do, our habits, good or bad, impact not only our physical, but our spiritual, our soul, our mental, our emotional well-being. All those are interconnected and they're compounded by what we choose to do physically on a daily basis, right? Shola, can you talk about some aspects or some examples of how we can maintain our physical wellness? What does that look like, and what are the benefits of doing that?
Right, right. I mean, maintaining physical wellness can look like so many different things. And this time we're going to challenge you all. Of course, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but we're going to challenge you all to come up with that list on your own. But before then, right, let's think about the benefits of maintaining physical wellness, right? We have improved mood. Like you said, Roddia, it goes into our spiritual health, our mental health, right? Better relationships, that's our social health. How are we interacting with ourselves as well as other people? Because relationship with self is another thing, okay? And so again, everything is connected. And so that relationship with self also goes into our self-esteem, our self-efficacy, our ability to believe in who we are and what we're capable of. And it also allows us to just keep going, keep driving that vehicle that we talked about, right? It allows us to keep going in a way that is in alignment with who we are, that is true for us, and that honors and respects our natural existence. So, Roddia, can you say a little bit more about the stigma that's maybe attached to physical wellness and just break down some of those for us?
Of course. I think I really love, of course, this is a wellness series. So we're saying wellness with everything that we do. But I also love that we're being intentional about saying physical wellness and not physical fitness, right? I think there's a lot of social stigma when we hear the word fit. It's about body image, it's about diet culture, it's about a lot of things that don't matter. Right. So I really love that we're being intentional and saying physical wellness because that allows us to own that our ability to be physically well is individual based on what our wellness needs are. Right. And so there's a lot of stigma that, oh, you have to eat a certain way, can't eat this, can't eat that. Your body has to look a certain way. You have to go to the gym this many amount of times. There's just so much, I think, stigma that people put into fitness, right? And so I really want us all to work on like destigmatizing that and reclaiming that it's about our wellness, right? My body can be a certain size, but I'm still physically well for what my body needs, right? I still like to eat snacks, but I'm still physically well because what my body needs, I'm listening and I'm doing portions and not doing diets, right? So I don't go to the gym, but I go and I walk my dog. So there's just understanding that those stigmas don't have to play a part in how we feel well with ourselves. And that really trickles down into us understanding what makes us feel well as an individual and then doing those action self-care behaviors that we're always talking about. So Shola, can you give us like some examples of one, what these activities should look like, and two, some that you might possibly do?
Of course, of course. And I loved your examples. I mean, like you said, it can be as simple as taking your dog outside for a walk, just going up and down the block, around the block. That counts. Everything counts. It doesn't have to be you spending 2 hours at the nearest gym or you finding a gym that has the best equipment and then you'll be able to work out. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate you saying that. And for me, it's as simple as that too. And I think talking about the fact that it has to be specific. So again, unique to you and also realistic, honoring your capabilities, your limitations, what you can and can't do. Maybe you had an accident and now your hip doesn't work the way it used to work. That's okay. That's okay. You can still honor that space while making sure that your body is physically well, that you're staying flexible, that you're staying open to strengthening maybe that hip if possible. So there are different things that you can do that can honor this physical wellness, but also make it very specific and intentional, like Roddia was saying, to who you are. So for me, I need sleep. Okay. I need at least, not at least, a nice 8 hours of sleep. Okay. 8 hours of sleep. And I know for me, I wake up at 6. My body is naturally accustomed to waking up at 6, right? So I know that my body wakes up at 6. I'm not fighting that, I'm honoring that. You wake up at 6. And I know I need 8 hours of sleep. So what time do I have to go to bed? 10. Yes. And so I make an effort to make sure that I'm in bed by 10. I'm winding down 9:30. Even if I work late, maybe that means I have to put some things off the next day so I can get that sleep. And maybe there are days where I can't put things off, right? Respecting what we're capable of doing in those limitations. Maybe I can't put certain things off. So then I'm going to sleep at 11 and 12, right? So I'm not getting my full 8 hours. So what do I do to help make sure that, okay, well, If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, if I don't get a quantity of sleep that is acceptable, can I still get quality sleep? And for me, that may mean drinking tea before I go to bed at midnight so that I can calm myself down, that I'm coming down, that I'm relaxed and I'm comfortable, so that when I wake up, I feel like I still got quality sleep, even though I didn't get the same amount of sleep. And another thing is the stretching. As soon as I get up, especially on those days, waking up and immediately stretching as soon as I get out of bed. Like, I'm up, my eyes are open, and I'm like, all right, time to get moving. I may still feel, a little sluggish, but that movement helps get the blood flowing. That movement helps my brain to wake up. And so again, we talk about that alignment, right? I'm also moving. I'm feeling happy. I'm trying to do something for myself. I'm boosting my self-esteem. I'm boosting my mood, all right there. So all of those aspects of wellness can go into what it means to be physically well: nutrition, exercise, drinking certain teas. Roddia, can you tell us, as we're like really getting to like the meat of this, why this is even important for us to pay attention to? Like, what is the purpose of us talking about this?
Yeah, of course. I first want to just say I love the point you made about sleep. I think a lot of people don't realize that our sleep is a big point of our physical wellness. There's two things to that, right? The quality of sleep that we're getting. And then also we have to know our body. Some people just need 5 hours of sleep. And if you're giving yourself more than five, you then wake up in a whole different part of your sleep cycle and you wake up feeling tired, right? So it's about learning your body. You can't oversleep and you can't undersleep. Like, it's giving yourself time to learn your body. So I love that you said that. And it really speaks to the purpose of this. Why are we talking about physical wellness, y'all? It's what we've been saying since day one. Like, everything is connected, right? So if we don't physically feel well internally, or we just don't like how we look physically, our body doesn't feel capable of what we need it to do, that's going to affect our mental. Our mental is not going to be of its best if we physically do not feel well. I know that when I'm not doing my workout regimen, or if I don't sleep well, like consistently back to back, I'm grouchy. I'm short of patience. You know, I'm not able to be compassionate to myself or to others. Just irritable, honestly, just very irritable. And it goes deeper than that. Sometimes if you don't feel physically well, you don't have the self-confidence that you usually have inside. You may be more quicker to have anxiety, maybe might even feel sad, depressed, low. Our physical wellness and our mental wellness are so interconnected. One cannot function without the other. It's a balance, right? And it's so important to honor that about yourself and know that I need to be both mentally, physically, spiritually, soulfully well in order to be my best self, right? And they're not always all going to be where you want them to be, and that's okay because we're human. But it's good to know that you have to always consistently be working on these things. So, in honor of that, we're going to challenge you all to sort of do what Shola just did for us, which was create a list of two to three things that you feel makes you feel physically well. And if you haven't ever thought about this, we invite you to self-reflect. Think about your sleep. What is quality sleep for you? Is it 5 hours? Is it 6? Is it 8? Can you sleep with noise? Can you sleep with light? Do you need to make sure those things are cut off by a certain time so your brain can calm down? Because that's another part of it too. Brain keeps going and now you're overactive in your sleep, not rested. So check in with yourself, self-reflect, and we challenge you to figure out 2 to 3 things that you can challenge yourself to do in the next week or so to really work on your physical wellness. It's March. It's the month of spreading awareness about physical illness. There's no time like right now to really be doing this. So we just want to thank y'all for sitting in with us and talking to us today. And we really hope that you'll join us in doing this. I know I'm going to check in with myself and make a list because as we're talking about this, it's making me think about the things that I'm not doing that I should be doing. So I'm definitely going to do that. What about you, Shola?
I'm going to do the same thing. And it's so interesting that I started writing down one thing for self-care and for myself, but I'm going to make it more specific now. And I'm going to talk about the one thing that I can do for physical wellness that can help add to my cup. So that's a great idea. And I'm so glad that we did this. I mean, this is right on time as usual.
Yeah, everything definitely falls in place perfectly. I think right now, especially during COVID, trying to really talk about physical wellness is important because a lot of the stuff that we may have had access to, we don't have access to. So check in and think about what can I do during this pandemic that's individualized, right? So really fine tune it to yourself in our current living environment and society. But other than that, we're super excited to talk about these next three that we have coming up. Shola kind of hinted to them, but we'll really be breaking down all the different aspects of physical wellness in our next three. So we're super excited to do that. We want to thank you, like always, if you're part of the family, for tuning in on Wednesday. And we hope you join the PGCPS family. If this is your first time coming in with us, but we will definitely be here same time and same place next Wednesday. We're going to go ahead and sign out and thank you all, and we'll see you soon.
All righty.